Welcome back. We're at the Dubai Autodrome for race day 2 of the UAE National Race Day Series. Up next is the MOTORCITY UAE Sportbike Championship. And following on from round 1, this weekend looks like we're in for another couple of closely fought races. A quick look back at race day 1 and the inaugural race day of the 2011-2012 season saw excellent victories for Triumph, with Alan BOYTER and Mahmoud Tania taking a win apiece in the 600cc class in a field made up entirely of privateer riders. BOYTER scored his maiden UAE Sportsbike win in the first race of the season, beating his VENDETTA racing teammate Mahmoud Tania across the finish line by just over a second. But in race 2 it was Mahmoud Tania who bounced back to take the top spot on the podium, with BOYTER following him across the line and Steve Blackney in third place. Meanwhile, Chris Morley finished at the head of the 600cc rookie class in both races on board his Kawasaki, getting his racing career off to the best possible start. Race 1 saw Morley chased all the way by Ian Wilcox on board the Honda. In race 2 it was Richard Drake who finished second, with Ian Wilcox third. Elsewhere in the 1000cc class, Gernot Dobida was the fastest man on two wheels around the Autodrome circuit. However, with the absence of reigning champion Abdulaziz Bin Laden, the Austrian had no one in his class to challenge him in the big sports bike category. On to this weekend, and one rider who fancies his chances of a top 3 finish in the 600cc championship this year is Joe Oxley. Originally from Ireland, Joe arrived in Dubai 2 years ago, and whilst he had no previous racing experience back home, the lure of the UAE Sportbike Championship proved to be too good an opportunity to miss.
I was about to start racing in Ireland because it's something I've always wanted to do. I was always fast on the road, and when you'd be in groups of bikes on the road, I'd be up around the front, so it's always something I wanted to do but never actually got around to doing it. Then I got the opportunity to come to Dubai, so when I came here, within the first couple of months here, I set it up nice and pace and I started racing here.
For a rider who's only been racing for 2 seasons, Oxley has a very pragmatic approach to his hobby. He's well aware of the steep learning curve required, from being a complete track novice to contesting the lead at the head of the field.
I suppose it's the adrenaline. There's always something to learn, there's always a new technique. And once I stop improving my personal best, I'll probably stop if I'm not at the front, because it's an expensive hobby, and unless you're at the front of the game, it's not really worth it.
For now though, Joe is progressing well, having kicked off the season with a 3rd and 4th place in the 600cc Superstock category. Unlike the regular stock bikes, the Superstock bikes are allowed some modifications to improve handling and power output. And the package seems to be working for him. Race day 2 saw Oxley start 4th on the grid in the 600s, but quickly managed to pass Erikas Savikas on the first lap. From here he continued to hold off Steve Blackney's Honda for the rest of the race, across the line in 3rd place. However, the second race of the day didn't get off to such a good start, with Oxley forced wide in turn 1 on the very first lap. However, the Irishman lost no time in making amends and quickly fought his way back through the pack to see him finish in 4th place.
I thought I might be able to actually make it to 3rd and take a podium, but it didn't work out. We were swapping positions on the very last lap, managed to get in front, the big ball, and yeah, finished up in 4th. But yeah, awesome race. Enjoyed that race more than the podium from the first race.
For Joe, motorbikes are certainly an addictive hobby. When he's not in the desert racing his motocross bike at weekends, he's thinking about how to tackle the next Sportbike Championship race day.
Racing has a habit of kind of taking over your life a little bit. You know, and sometimes you really have to hold it there, like, and think, well, you know, I'm not paid to race. You know, I have a career, and my career pays for my racing. You know, so sometimes you just have to be very focused about that. You know.
On to the racing, and after a thrilling first 2 races on the first race weekend, the UAE Sportbikes lined up for race 3 and 4 on the Dubai Autodrome National Circuit. In the 1000cc class, Gernot Dobida was no doubt hoping to recreate his winning form of the opening race day. However, Emirati rider Nasser Al-Shaiba was having none of it and led the race from start to finish to mark his maiden win in his debut race in the UAE National Race Day Series. Meanwhile, there was plenty more action in the 600cc class, where the stage was set for another showdown between the 2 VENDETTA racing teammates, Alan BOYTER and Mahmoud Tania. After starting behind Tania on the grid, BOYTER soon got down to business, and having passed his teammate, then pulled out a comfortable lead, Tannier had no answer to his pace, and at the line it was BOYTER who crossed first, 5 seconds ahead of his teammate.
I knew it was going to be a close one this weekend, this race. We qualified 100th of a second between each other, so it was always going to be close. The teammate was in front. I managed to get him in turn 1 in the first lap and just pushed it down and managed to make it stick.
Meanwhile, in the 600cc rookie class, Chris Morley notched up his 3rd win of the season ahead of Ian Wilcock in 2nd and Leon Chad in 3rd. So, confirmation of the results, and it was Nasser Al-Shaiba on the BMW who took the top spot in the 1000cc class, with Alan BOYTER first in the 600s, just ahead of teammate Mahmoud Tannier in 2nd and Joe Oxley in 3rd. Race 2, and in the 1000cc class it was plain sailing for Gernot Dabida, who claimed first place unchallenged on board the BMW. Meanwhile, in the 600cc class it was the experienced Triumph riders that once again stole the day. After losing out to his teammate Alan BOYTER in race 1, Mahmoud Tannier wasn't about to make it 2 in a row. After a closely fought race, it was the Lebanese rider that pulled out all the stops to cross the line in first place, less than half a second ahead of BOYTER. Behind this pair, and Steve Blackney surprised more than a few people to take 3rd place overall and a well-deserved place on the podium. Meanwhile, the 600cc rookie class continues to provide plenty of excitement, or perhaps a bit too much excitement in the case of Ian Wilcock. The rookie rider had a brush with disaster coming through the bowl, and only a bit of impressive circus acrobatics saved him from what would have been a nasty fall. At the front though, and it was Chris Morley who continued his winning form to grab top step of the podium ahead of Ian Wilcock in 2nd and Leon Chad in 3rd. Confirmation of the results then from race 2, and it was the lone 1000cc rider Gernot Dabida that took the overall win. In the 600cc class it was Mahmoud Tannier who just snatched victory from Alan BOYTER, with Steve Blackney in 3rd. Meanwhile, in the rookie class, Chris Morley once again took the win, with Sergio Raja in 2nd and Ian Wilcock in 3rd. After the break, we've got action from the first round of the region's Premier Racing Series, the 2011-2012 NGK UAE GT Championship. And we'll also be profiling one of the most experienced drivers in the GTA class. Don't go away.